Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please check it. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. All right. Good evening, guys. All right. Now check it. What we completed there in the last session. So in the last class, I think we are discussing about the differences between Java and other programming languages. And the differences between Java and other programming languages, already we completed up to how many differences here we completed there. Almost all. Now we are discussing about fifth difference. I think fifth difference here we are discussing there. Can you tell me what are the differences here we completed so far? What is the first difference there? C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what there? Dynamic programming language. Then second difference is what there? Preprocessor is required in a C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in a Java. Then what is the third difference there? C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what there? Platform independent programming language. And then what next one after this? Pointers are existed in C++, but pointers are not existed in Java. So these are the points we understood. The last class we started already what there? Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Let's understand what is multiple inheritance actually. What is the meaning of it? So if any programming language allows to represent data in the form of objects by following object-oriented features, then the programming language is object-oriented programming language. In object orientation, there are 7 number of features to represent data in the form of objects: class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and message passing. Here we required what their inheritance part here we required. What is this inheritance actually? It's the relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from one class to another class in order to improve reusability. Here one class is what there? One class is a parent class or base class or sober class to another class. Another class is what there? A child class, derived class, or what there? Subclass. Next one. The main advantage of inheritance is what there? Code reusability. Initially, there are two types of inheritances. What are the two types of inheritances there? Single inheritance, then what next one? No? Multiple inheritance. On the basis of the about two types of inheritances, there are three more inheritances. What are the three more inheritances? No, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. What is single inheritance? Already we discussed there. It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Java does support single inheritance. Then after that we started with what there? Multiple inheritance. It is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Right, sir. So just only definition are given there. Here I'm telling to you, Java does not support multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Observe carefully. Then after that, but what is this multiple inheritance actually? I think we are preparing a diagram there. Only single inheritance we have taken the diagram. where only one superclass is existed, one or more number of subclasses we can take, but only one subclass we have taken. No issues. This is called as what there? Single inheritance. Nice. Next one is now we have to talk about multiple inheritance. What is this multiple inheritance actually? It's a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from more than one superclass to more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Let's see this one. Now I'm taking this is what their superclass. This is what their class A. I want to take another superclass. This is class B. Okay, two superclasses are available. Now this is a subclass, class C. Now tell me here, inheritance relationship here I have to represent. Always upwards arrow, up arrow is what their inheritance relation symbol. Now here two superclasses are existed here. That's why I need to take like this. Here this is like what I'm telling to you, one superclass. This is another superclass. Now both are coming from this. Here I have to provide extends relation. Okay. Now here I want to provide like what there. Die is equal to 10. Void M1 method. Here we are able to have some X implementation. Here we have to write like what there and curly brace void M1 method. This is class K. Similarly, into J is equal to 20. No problem. Next one is what there void M2 method. Inside this, here we are able to have like what there Y implementation. Right curly brace. Two superclasses are available for the subclass C. Two superclasses are existed for the subclass C. Observe carefully. Now in class C, class C is a child class for both class A and class B. It has the rights to access variables and methods of superclasses, both the superclasses, class A and class B. I is equal to I plus 10. At the same time, J is equal to J plus 10. That means I variable and J variable both we declared at which locations? No, superclasses. As class is a child class, no, it can access both the superclass data. I is equal to I plus 10, J is equal to J plus 10. That's okay. Now M1 method call we can provide. Here we are able to get like what there M2 method. Both the methods can we call. That's okay, fine. Going on. So this is multiple inheritance. Up to this, we are not having any problem. Up to that, we don't have any problem. Even though it is a multiple inheritance, but no issues up to now. Of course, it is also be not supported in Java. That's a different case. But up to that, we are not having any issue there. But my question is what? Why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java? Why multiple inheritance is not existed in Java? For that, I'm giving some clarity. Now try to understand this point. I want to take again the same multiple inheritance. Try to understand this. Two classes here I'm taking there and one subclass here I'm taking now. Right, now here I need to take that inheritance representation here I have to provide. Now I want to take, this is class A and this is super class B. Now inside this is like what there, class C. Here we need to provide extends relation. Now all of you observe carefully. This is int I is equal to 10 void M1 method where X implementation where we have to provide like what there, some curly brace here we provided. This is my class K. Observe carefully, all of you know. In a class B superclass, I'm going to write the same int I is equal to 20 this time. In superclass A, I is available. In superclass B also B, I is available. In a superclass A, I value is 10. In a superclass B, I value is 20. We can declare same variable in two different classes, no problem. Void M1 method, again I'm declaring here. But in this case, I'm providing some Y implementation. In this case, I'm providing what there? Some Y implementation. Observe carefully. Two superclasses, same variables, same method with different values and different implementations. Up to now, it's possible. All right, sir. Class C is a subclass or not? When a class C is a subclass, no. Whenever class C is a subclass, no, then definitely what we have to understand there, it has the rights to access members from both the superclasses. As per that, I is equal to I plus 10, it is taking. Then after that, simply it is calling what method? M1 method. I is equal to I plus 10. Then what next one here? M1 method. Observe carefully. When a class C accessing I variable, which superclass I variable it has to take? If it is taking class A superclass I, know I is equal to I plus 10, where I value is what there? 10 now. 10 plus 10. What is the value here? 20. Is it 20? If we take I value from class B superclass, no. In a class B, I value is what there? 20. I is equal to I plus, like what there? 10 now. That means I is equal to 20 plus 10. Then what is the value? 30. Is it 30? If we decide from which superclass I value is coming, on the basis of that I may take I value, I can get the result of I. Understand it clearly. So if we take I value from class A, I is equal to I plus 10, I is equal to 10 plus 10, 20. Is it 20? If we take I value from class B, I value is in class B is what there? 20. I is equal to I plus 10, I is equal to 20 plus 10, 30. Is it 30? When we access M1 method, from which superclass? In both the superclasses, M1 method is available. From which superclass M1 method is existed? From which superclass M1 method is existed? Is that superclass is class A? From class A, are you getting any M1 method? If you think M1 method is coming from class A superclass, where which implementation is going on? X implementation. Is it X implementation? If you think M1 method is coming from class B superclass, no, which implementation is available there? Y implementation. Is it Y implementation? Observe carefully. So here, which is superclass members are coming to the class C is a confusion. It is in confusion. Java doesn't give any solution for it. Java stated that this is a confusion state. This is against to like what there, against to the Java rules and regulations. It is a confusion. From which is superclass, the type variable value and M1 method is coming, it is a confusion. That's why finally what Java has decided, Java is a simple programming language. To make Java is a simple programming language, not required to provide any confusion, not required to allow any confusion oriented features. Because of that reason, directly Java, that means Sun Microsystems or Java, has removed multiple inheritance from its programming. Directly Java has removed multiple inheritance from its programming. This is what exactly the meaning of like what there multiple inheritance and why it is not available in Java. Understand guys what I'm telling there? All right, sir. Now observe carefully. Now this is the point I'm telling to you. Finally, have you understood the point here? Why this multiple inheritance is not possible in Java? Why confusion is coming there? Child class when it is accessing I variable, if it is available more than one superclass, which superclass I variable value has to come? Which superclass I variable has to be accessed? That's a confusion. To avoid this confusion, Java has removed totally this multiple inheritance. There's a point here we have to understand. Got my point or not? All right, so now let us check this clearly. All right, so now let me go for the point here. Then why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java? For that I'm telling you, try to understand this clearly. In Java applications, in multiple inheritance, In Java applications, in multiple inheritance, if we declare same variable with different values in more than one superclass, comma, same method with different implementations in more than one method, in more than one superclass, in more than one superclass. Right, sir? In Java applications, in multiple inheritance, if we declare same variable with the different values in more than one superclass, same method with the different implementations in more than one superclass. Okay, and if we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, then which is superclass variable and which superclass method would be accessed in the subclass. All right, sir. Now observe carefully. If we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, then which is superclass variable and which is superclass method would be accessed in the respective subclass. Is a confusion state. That's simple. That actual situation I'm explaining there is a confusion state. Then what we have to do there? All right, sir. Java is a simple programming language. Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow confusion-oriented features. So, multiple inheritance is not allowed by Java in its application development. So, multiple inheritance is not possible in the case of Java. Why? Because it is providing what their confusion. It is like what their confusion here, what we are getting. Sir, got it or not? All right, sir. Now, this is exactly the point here we can understand clearly. Next one is what there. Then after that, after understanding this particular point here, that's okay. Finally, we understood why Java does not allow multiple inheritance. That's the point here. Just it is providing confusion state. That's the main point here. But how multiple inheritance is restricted inside the Java? How practically inheritance was restricted? Multiple inheritance was restricted. What Java has done the manipulation not to allow multiple inheritance. What Java has done the manipulation like what there to avoid multiple inheritance. Right. Further, I'm giving some clarity. Now try to understand this clearly. To avoid multiple inheritance in Java applications, Java has defined. First of all, tell me guys, inheritance is represented in the form of a predefined what? Inheritance is represented in the form of a predefined word. What is that predefined word now? Predefined keyword. That is what there? Extends. Am I right or not? Right, sir. To avoid multiple inheritance in Java applications, Java has defined extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name in a subclass syntax. That's it, guys. Now, this is the point here we have to understand. Come again. What's the point I'm telling there? To avoid multiple inheritance in Java applications, Java has defined extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name in a class syntax, not to allow what there more than one superclass name in a class syntax. Extends keyword is able to take only one superclass name, not to allow what there more than one superclass name. Example I'm telling you, try to understand this clearly. Valid cases and invalid cases I'm telling to you, observe carefully. For example, here I've taken class A, class B, extends A, no problem. Status is valid. Yes, sir, get my point or not? Here the status is what there? Valid. Up to this. Next one. Example, another example I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Class A, class A, class B. Observe carefully. These two things I want to take as a super class there. Class C extends A comma B. Whenever we provided comma, after writing this class A, whenever we provided comma, that's sufficient. Compiler will raise an error. When we provide comma there, what's the meaning of it now? When we provide comma, what's the meaning of it now? That means we are trying to write something after this comma. Means that we are trying to put another superclass name. Whenever we are trying to put another superclass name, that's sufficient. Automatically, compiler is going to raise an error. What is the error here? We are able to get there. That error message will be like what then? Right, sir. Class C extends A comma B. Right, there something is going to be expected. Some curly brace is going to be expected. Like this, we are able to get some error. But anyway, we have to write like what their status. Status is what their compilation error. But it's not possible. Invalid case here we are able to provide. In this way, we are able to hide. In this way, we are able to provide like what there the total like how inheritance, multiple inheritance is avoided inside the Java. Right, so now this is the point here we have to understand clearly. Leave this point now. Then overall, multiple inheritance why it is not available in Java. Even that one also be here we understood clearly. Next one. Then coming to this sixth point. Sixth difference here. What is that sixth point here? Observe carefully. All right, sir. Destructors are required in a C++, but the destructors are not required in Java. Destructors are not required in Java. This is another point. Destructors are required in a C++, not in C, only in C++, but destructors are not required in Java. Why, sir? First of all, tell me, before going to understand destructors are required or not required in a C++ and in Java, first of all, tell me, what is destructor? What is the purpose of the destructors in object-oriented programming language? That point is here we have to understand. Answer is clear. Now try to answer for it. When a programming language is an object-oriented programming language, when it is possible to say a programming language is an object-oriented programming language, if any programming language allows to represent data in the form of objects, then that programming language is what their object-oriented programming language. Sir, got my point or not? All right, sir. Good. Means that in object-oriented programming languages, it is a minimum convention to represent data in the form of objects or not. That means we have to represent data in the form of objects or not. If we want to represent the data in the form of objects, first we have to create objects. After that only we are going to keep data inside the objects. Okay, fine. We have created object. Inside this object, we specify the data. We performed manipulations on the data. At the end of the program, at least, we have to destroy that objects or not. As we created the objects, then definitely we have to destroy that objects or not. So finally, what is the point I am telling there? In object-oriented programming languages, two operations are minimum. What are the two operations? No, creating object and destroying objects. Whether we are performing or some other tool is performing, it is a secondary. First of all, two operations are going to be performed. What are the two operations? No, first one is what they're creating objects. Second one is what they're destroying objects. Creating objects and destroying objects. Okay, fine. Observe carefully. In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use a separate feature. That feature is constructor. In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use a separate feature. That feature is what there? Constructor. Observe carefully. In object-oriented programming languages, to destroy the objects, we will use a separate feature. That feature is what there? Destructor. Constructor is to construct the objects. Destructor to destroy the objects. This is what exactly the purpose of the destructor. Destructor is to destroy the objects in a Java, in a normal object-oriented programming languages. Got it or not? Right, sir. Now my another point here I'm telling to you, try to observe carefully. Listen, all of you listen carefully. Observe carefully the point here. In C++, developers must take the responsibility to create the objects and to destroy the objects. In C++, developers must take the responsibility of creating objects and destroying the objects. So developers must use destructors explicitly to destroy the objects. But in the case of Java, developers are responsible for creating objects. Developers are responsible only for creating objects. Developers are not responsible for destroying the objects. In the case of Java, developers are not to take any responsibility to destroy the objects. Why developers are not required to take any responsibility to destroy the objects in the case of Java? Why developers are not responsible for destroying the objects in Java? If we take this point now, answer is very clear. In Java, to destroy the objects, one internal implicit tool was provided by Java programming language. That internal or implicit tool to destroy the objects is what their garbage collector. That internal tool is what there? Garbage collector. Due to the availability of this garbage collector, we are not required to destroy the objects explicitly. When we are not destroying the objects explicitly, automatically not required to use destructors in the case of Java applications. Final point is what there? Garbage collector is available in Java to destroy the objects. So developers are not required to destroy the objects. So developers are not required to use any destructors. But in the case of C++, garbage collector is not available. When garbage collector is not available in the case of C++, no, developers must take the responsibility of destroying the objects. This is the reason why destructors are required in C++, but destructors are not required in the case of Java. All of you observe carefully here what I am telling you. Right, sir. Now I want to give some information that try to understand these points clearly. In general, in object-oriented programming languages, we have to represent data in the form of objects. In the form of objects. All right, sir. We have to represent data in the form of what they're objects. To represent data in the form of objects, to represent data in the form of objects, first we have to create objects. Okay, and we have to, okay, I'll give clarity. First we have to create objects at a starting point of the program, and we have to destroy the objects at least at the ending point of, at the end of the program, or at any point of the program. But any location we can destroy the object, but at least we have to destroy the objects at the ending point of the program. Right, sir. Any point of the program. Understand these points clearly. Now the thing is what there, then after that, after understanding this particular one here, in object oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use constructors. In object oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use constructors. And to destroy objects, we will use distractors. And to destroy objects, we will use what there? Distractors. Understand my point clearly? All right, sir. That's okay. Now this is clearly the point here what we understood there, constructors and what there? Distractors. Now coming to the point here. In case of C++, developers must take the responsibility to create the objects and to destroy the objects. Where to destroy the objects, developers must use distractors. So in C++, distractors are required. So in C++, distractors are required. That's the point I'm giving there. In the case of like what there, C++ I'm giving there. Similarly, what is the next point here I'm telling there? Observe carefully. In the case of Java, developers are responsible for creating objects only. Developers are not responsible for destroying objects. In the case of Java, developers are responsible for creating objects only. Developers are not responsible for destroying the objects. Why? Because in Java applications, to destroy objects, in Java applications, to destroy objects, Java has provided an internal component in the form of, what is it in the form of there? No, garbage collector. That's it, guys. Not required to go for any other one. So due to the above reason, Java doesn't require what are their distractors. Due to the garbage collector, simply speaking, due to the garbage collector, Java doesn't require distractors. That's it. This is the simple reason why distractors are not existed in the case of what there Java. Distractors are required in the case of what there C++. Only the difference is what there garbage collector, not more than that. Leave this point here. Theoretically, we have to understand all the points here. Distractors are required in C++, but distractors are not required in Java. All right, so now let's come for the seventh point. Another point. All of you observe carefully. Seventh point here I'm telling to you. What is the seventh point here? Operator overloading. Listen carefully. Operator overloading is not possible in Java. Operator overloading is not possible in Java. First of all, tell me, all of you know, what is the meaning of this operator overloading? What is the meaning of this operator overloading? From where this operator overloading is coming into the picture? We have to understand this point. All right, observe carefully. All of you observe carefully. Now tell me guys, when a programming language is an object-oriented programming language, now tell me. As usual, same point I'm asking there. When a programming language is an object-oriented programming language, when a programming language is representing data in the form of objects as per object-oriented features, then it is what their object-oriented programming language. Nice. How many number of object-oriented features are available? 7 number of object-oriented features are available. Am I right or not? Can you tell me what are the 7 number of object-oriented features now? Tell me what are the 7 number of object-oriented features now? Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and what next one here? Message passing. Are get my point or not? All these points here we have to understand clearly. Now here, understand the point here. What's the point I'm telling to you? Observe carefully. If any programming language allows to represent data in the form of objects by following object-oriented features, then that programming language is object-oriented programming language. In object orientation, there are 7 number of object-oriented features. There are 7 number of object-oriented features. What are the 7 number of object-oriented features actually? First one is what there? Class. And the second one is like what there? Object. And the third one is like what there? Encapsulation. And the fourth one is like what there? Abstraction. Fifth one is like what there? Inheritance. And the sixth one is like what there? Polymorphism. And the seventh one is what there? Message passing. All right, sir. Out of all these things, now I required polymorphism. Out of all these things, I required what their polymorphism now. Previously, inheritance topic is available. Multiple inheritance topic is available. To talk about multiple inheritance, I have taken that point there in the previous class now. But now, if you want to talk about operator overloading, now I required what there? I required polymorphism. Now I need what there? Polymorphism. Observe carefully. What is this polymorphism actually? What is the meaning of this polymorphism? First of all, understand this. Polymorphism is a Greek word. Polymorphism is what there? Is a Greek word. Where poly means many and morphism means what their structures or forms. Understand my point here? Where poly means many or maybe morphism means what are the structures or forms. That means, what's the point I'm telling there? If one thing is existed in more than one form, then it is called polymorphism. If one thing is existed in more than one form, then it is called as what there? Polymorphism. That's it, kid. This is what exactly the definition of like what there? Polymorphism. Yes, all of you get my point or not? This is the meaning of like what there? Polymorphism. All right. Definition is okay. What is the advantage of this polymorphism? Main advantage of inheritance we understood, code reusability. The main advantage of inheritance is what there? Code reusability. Declare code in superclass. Access the same code in any number of subclasses. Code reusability is an advantage of it. Clear? But now tell me, what is the advantage of this polymorphism? If one thing is available in multiple forms, automatically is an advantage or not? So for example, I'm telling one simple example. Do not try to understand it now. For your understanding purpose. Observe carefully. For example, Java, core Java classes are going on here. We are understanding these core Java classes. Observe carefully. I'm taking core Java class here. In Durgasoft, for example, for core Java, in Durgasoft for core Java, only one faculty member is available. That is case number one. For core Java, 5 faculty members are available. They are having their own individual batches. Observe carefully. You are the students now. which case is an advantage case for you? Is that only one faculty or five faculty members? Definitely, five faculty members is an advantage. Am I right or not? Why it is an advantage? No, I'll explain to you. For example, one faculty case is available. If we go to that faculty class, if we go to that faculty class, if you're interested, it's okay. You can join with him. If you're not interested, the class is not comfortable for you. You want to go for an alternative. But do you have any alternative? No alternatives available. So with or without the interest, we have to continue with that class only. By force only, we have to attend for that class. No flexibility for you. But in the case of five faculty members, then what happened there? First, we will see one faculty demo class. First, we will see one faculty demo class. If you are interested, it's okay. Then you can join with him. If you're not interested, then you may check with the another faculty demo class. You may go with what there? Another faculty demo class. There, if you're interested with that, it's okay, then you can join with him. Otherwise, if you're not interested there, then you may go for what there? Another faculty, next faculty, up to five demo classes. After completing all the demo classes there we can check to which faculty you want to attend, then we can attend for it. To which faculty we are going to attend there, then we can utilize it. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? This is what exactly the meaning of, this is what exactly the meaning of like what their advantage. Now this case is more advantage to you. Why? Because you can select either of the faculties. If one thing is available more than one form, we can select either of this form. Multiple options are available, we can select one form. But one thing is available in only one form, by force only we have to take that particular form. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? So because of this particular reason here, we need to go for the polymorphism. The main intention of the polymorphism is what there? To provide flexibility. To provide what there? Flexibility while preparing the applications. We're able to provide flexibility while preparing the application. That is an advantage of like what there? This particular polymorphism. Understand the point here? The main advantage of polymorphism is flexibility to design applications. Flexibility to design applications. That's okay, fine now. How many types of polymorphisms are available actually? How many types of polymorphisms are existed here now? There are two types of polymorphisms. There are how many types of polymorphisms there? Two types of polymorphisms. All right, so the first one is like what there? Static polymorphism, and second one is like what there? Dynamic polymorphism. Right, so two types of polymorphisms are existed. Static polymorphism. Second one is what there? Dynamic polymorphism. Right, sir. Observe carefully. What is static polymorphism and what is dynamic polymorphism? First one is, understand this clearly. All right, sir. If the polymorphism exists at compilation time, if the polymorphism is existed at a compilation time, then that polymorphism is called static polymorphism. If the polymorphism exists at compilation time, then the polymorphism is what there? Static polymorphism. Example, overloading. Example is what there? Overloading. Later on I will talk about it, overloading. Next one is dynamic polymorphism. What's the point I'm telling there about this dynamic polymorphism? Observe carefully. If the polymorphism exists at not at compilation time, at what time they know? At runtime. Then that polymorphism is called dynamic polymorphism. Example for this dynamic polymorphism is what there? Overriding. Overloading is an example for what there? Static polymorphism. Overriding is an example for what there? Dynamic polymorphism. Here I need to understand clearly what is the meaning of overloading. Now, as of now, I required only overloading. Why? Because I need to talk about what their operator overloading. I have to talk about what their operator overloading. So here I have to discuss about like what their overloading only. I don't require this overriding as of now. In the future, in object orientation, we are going to understand all the concepts effectively. We are going to understand all the concepts effectively, but we have to understand this points clearly. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? Right, so now this is exactly the meaning of like what there dynamic polymorphism and overriding. Now observe carefully. There are two types of overloadings. In general, there are two types of overloadings. What are the two types of overloadings here? First one is method overloading. Second one is operator overloading. First one is what there? Method overloading, and second one is what there? Operator overloading. What is method overloading? At least one statement here we have to understand. But my main focus is on what there? Operator overload. But we have to understand what is this method overloading there now. Understand it clearly. If we declare more than one method with the same name and with the different parameter list, then it is called method overloading. No to think much about it. Simple answer here we are able to understand. Then it is what there? Method overloading. If we declare more than one method with the same name and with a different parameter list, then it is what there? Method overloading. Sir, all of you get my point or not? All right, good. If we declare more than one method with the same name and with the different parameter list, then it is called what there? Method overloading. All right, sir. After that, any example for it? No, a simple example here I'm taking there. Simple, very simple example. Now, class here we have taken, say for example, math I have taken now. Now, inside this class math, I want to take void add of into I comma into j. System.out.println for displaying the data on command prompt. System.out.println of I plus j. This is one method. Another method I have taken there, but here the values are like what there? Float f1. Now this will be like what there? Float f2. System.out.println of f1 plus f2. Next one. Void add string str1 string str2 str1 plus str2 something else. Now tell me here, how many methods can I declare in a class math? How many methods I declared here? Three methods here we declared. What are the three methods? No, add method. All three methods are what they're add. Name add is a singular not. But how many forms are available? Three forms are available or not? Name is single. Add, the name add is a single. But how many forms are available? Three forms are available. It means that one thing is exist in more than one form or not? One thing is exist in what form there? More than one form. So this is what their polymorphism. Example is what their method overloading. Already some functionality is available. That is overloaded to next one. That is overloaded to next one. So this is the meaning of like what their overloading. This is method overload. Simple example, not to go for any too much internal content here, not required at present. Then after that, we have to go for like what there? Operator overloading. Next one. This is our required point. All of you observe carefully. Another one is like what there? operator overloading. What is the meaning of this operator overloading? What actually the meaning of this operator overloading? Observe carefully. If we declare any operator with more than, if we declare any operator with more than one operation, if we declare any operator with more than one operation, then the operator is called overloaded operator, and that process is called as operator overloading. This is the meaning of like what there operator overloading point here. Simple example I am telling to you. All of you observe carefully. Simple, very simple example. Into A is equal to 10, into B is equal to 20, into C is equal to A plus B semicolon. Cessna doubted println of C we are able to provide. Okay. Next one is after that. String str1 is equal to ABC. String str2 is equal to DEF. String str3 is equal to str1 plus str2. Cessna doubted println of str3. Right. Understand this clearly. Into A is equal to 10, into B is equal to 20, into C is equal to A plus B. Now here plus operator is available. Here plus is for arithmetic addition. Plus operator can be used for what purpose there? No, arithmetic addition. Am I right or not? Here plus is for what there? Arithmetic addition. Output value is what there? A plus B. 10 plus 20. What's the value here we are getting there? 30. 10 plus 20 here we are getting. What's the value here? 30. Output value is what there? 30. Observe carefully. Okay, good. Next one is coming to this one here. Here string str3 is equal to str1 plus str2. Here plus is for what purpose there? No, string concatenation. Here plus is for what purpose there? String concatenation. Output value is what there? str1 plus str2. That is what there? ABC plus DF means that ABC DF. Got it or not? All right. Now this is exactly the meaning of like what there? Operator overloading. How can you say operator overloading? No. Here plus operator is a single or not? Plus is an operator or not? One time we have used this plus for what there? Arithmetic addition. Another time we have used plus is for what there? String concatenation. But symbol is the same. Single symbol, single operator. But with more than one functionality is available or not? More than one operation is defined for this plus operator or not? That's why that plus is what there? Overloaded operator. The plus is for what purpose there? No, overloaded operator. Got it or not? Okay, fine, nice. After understanding this, then what is the next point I'm telling there? Observe carefully. Operator overloading is not possible in Java. What's the point here we are understanding there? Operator overloading is not possible in Java. Why? Why? Because I'll give some reasons here. All right, sir. Point number one. It is very rarely used feature in application development. It is not much important one. It is very, very rarely used feature. Almost all dead. We are not going to have any such kind of requirements in application development. So Java is not having concentration on this particular one. That is one point here. Observe carefully. Another point here, what I am telling to you, observe carefully. It's very rarely used feature. It's a very rarely used feature in application development. That is one reason. Another reason, listen carefully. For example, more number of operators are available if I define more number of functionalities for each and every operator. For example, one operator, two functionalities, okay, we can trace it. Two operators, four functionalities are okay, we can trace it. 10 operators, each operator has 10 functionalities. 10 operators are available, each operator has how many functionalities? No, 10 functionalities. Automatically, we are getting some confusion while tracing which operator is for which functionality or not. Definitely, we are able to get some confusion while tracing which operator is for which functionality or not. There's a somewhat confusion for us. Definitely, some confusion will be increased here. So, what is the conclusion I'm telling there? It is a bit confusion oriented feature. This is what now? It's a bit confusion oriented feature. It's a bit of confusion oriented feature. You know, Java is very a simple programming language. Java is very simple programming language. Java should not allow confusion oriented features in its applications. Operator overloading, if we declare, it's a bit of confusion oriented feature. When we declare more number of operations with more number of operators. All right, sir. This is the confusion. These are the reasons why Java does not allow this operator overloading in Java applications. But I have a question, guys. Why operator overloading is not existed inside the Java, that we understood. But my question is what there? Observe carefully. Example for operator overloading, we have seen this example. Am I right or not? This is an example we have seen for operator overloading. Am I right or not? Plus operator we have taken for arithmetic addition. Again, plus operator for what there? String concatenation. We have taken this. Am I right or not? Now, I'm asking this question to you. Try to answer for it. Is this code is not possible in Java? Is this code is not possible in Java? Definitely, it will run in Java. This code will be executed in Java. If this code is executed in Java, how can we say operator overloading is not possible in Java? It is representing operator overloading only. Plus operator, that is overloaded operator only, that was used here. And if this code is possible in Java, how can we say operator overloading is not possible in Java? Definitely it should be existed in Java or not? Right. Then interviewer may ask this type of question to you. In this case, there we have to give the answer clearly. Understand the answer here, what I'm telling to you now. No doubt for it, this code is possible in Java. And here operator overloading is existed. But still, what is the point I'm telling to you? Still, what is the point here I'm telling to you? Observe carefully. As per the Java internal requirement, as per Java internal requirement, Java made some of the predefined operators like plus, star, percentile, some of the predefined operators as overloaded operators with fixed functionalities internally, predefinedly. Java made some of the operators as overloaded operators internally with a fixed functionality. What are the examples operators there? No, plus operator. Already two cases we have seen. star operator multiple ways now, percentile operator in different ways. We are able to utilize these operators with the multiple functionalities, but that are defined by Java as per its internal requirement with the fixed functionalities. But Java has not given any option for the developers. Java has not given any option for the developers to do operator overloading explicitly. Java has not given any path for the developers to perform operator overloading explicitly. Say, for example, plus symbol is available. I want to define subtraction for the symbol. No, not possible. Java has not given that option there. But as per its internal requirement, it has defined up to some part of the overloading over the operators with the fixed functionalities. Plus is used for arithmetic addition and string concatenation. That's it. Extra operation, if you want to define, not possible. Explicitly, it's not possible. But implicitly, it has defined up to some part as per its requirement here. So that is the reason why. Then what is the point here? I'm telling to you clearly. All of you observe carefully. The point here, what I'm telling to you. Note up a point here. I'm telling to you. Observe carefully. As per Java internal requirement. As per Java internal requirement, Java has defined some of the predefined operators like plus comma, star comma, and percentile. Java has defined some of the predefined operators like as overloaded operators with fixed functionalities. As a fixed with as overloaded operators with the fixed functionalities. But Java doesn't give any option for the developers to perform operator overloading explicitly. Java doesn't give any option for the developers to perform operator overloading explicitly. This part is important here. Try to understand it now. As per the Java internal requirement, Java has defined some of the predefined operators like plus, star, percentile, and so on. So many operators are available here, but some of them I listed here as overloaded operators with a fixed functionalities. That each and every operator has a fixed functionality, not more than that. But Java doesn't give any option for the developers to perform operator overloading explicitly. So all of you are getting my point or not? This is clearly about the information related to what their operator overloading, and it is not possible in the case of Java. Let's try to understand it. What exactly the content here we discussed here about this operator overloading. Anyway, before that, what content here I given there today? Then sixth and seventh points here we completed. What is the sixth point here now? Destructors are required in a C++, but destructors are not required in Java. What is the meaning of it now? In general, in object-oriented programming languages, we have to represent data in the form of what? Their objects. But to represent data in the form of objects, we have to create the objects. At the end of the program, at least, we have to destroy the objects. To create objects, we will use constructors. To destroy the objects, we will use what? Their destructors. All right, sir. Now in C++, in case of C++, developers must take the responsibility to create objects and as well as to destroy the objects. So to destroy the object, developers must use destructors. So destructors are mandatory in the case of C++. But in the case of Java, developers are responsible for creating objects only, not for destroying the objects. Why? Because in the case of Java, to destroy the objects, Java has provided an internal component. That internal component is what? Their garbage collector. Due to the availability of the garbage collector, Java doesn't require destructors. That's it. Now, they are the points we discussed here now. Next one is operator overloading is not possible in Java. Alright, so now, if any programming language allows to represent data in the form of objects as per the object-oriented features, then the programming language is what? Object-oriented programming language. There are 7 number of object-oriented features. What are the 7 number of object-oriented features there? Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. Here we have discussed about like what their polymorphism there. What is the meaning of this polymorphism? Polymorphism is a Greek word, where poly means many and morphism means structures or a form. If one thing is exists in more than one form, then it is called as what? Polymorphism. Right, so there are two types of polymorphisms. What are the two types of polymorphism there? Static polymorphism and a dynamic polymorphism. If the polymorphism exists at compilation time, then it is called what? Static polymorphism. Example for static polymorphism is what there? Overloading. What is a dynamic polymorphism? If the polymorphism exists at runtime, then it is called dynamic polymorphism. Example for dynamic polymorphism is what there? Overriding. That's okay, fine. How many types of overloadings are available? There are two types of overloadings. What are the two types of overloadings there? Method overloading, operator overloading. If we declare more than one method with the same name and with a different parameter list, then it is called what there? Method overloading. I've taken one example, class math, void add of integer values, void add of float values, void add of string values. In all the case, add is a method name, but more than one functionality we define here. One thing is exist in more than one form. Overloading as well as it is what there? Polymorphism example. Next one is after that, overloading, operator overloading I have given. What is the meaning of this operator overloading? No, if you declare more than one, if you declare any operator with more than one functionality, then that operator is what there? Overloaded operator, and that functionality is what there? Method, that means operator overloading. An example I have given for this operator overloading. What is that example here? Into a is equal to 10, into b is equal to 20, into c is equal to a plus b, sys not out at bundle of a plus b. Similarly, another example I have taken there, another point, string str1 is equal to abc, string str2 is equal to def, string str3 is equal to str1 plus str2. Here plus, okay, sys not out at bundle of str3. If you observe this particular point here plus is used for two purposes now. One is for what their arithmetic addition, another one is for what purpose they know? String concatenation. Means that operator overloading. Example here we have done. Next one is what there? Operator overloading is not possible in Java. Why? Because operator overloading is very rarely used feature. It's almost all dead in application development. So Java doesn't have any concentration over it. Next one is it's a bit confusion oriented feature. It's a bit confusion oriented feature, but Java is a simple programming language. When it is a confusion oriented feature, no, when we declare more number of operators with more number of functionalities, automatically confusion will be raised when we access that operator with a particular requirement. So confusion will be raised here. So it's a bit of confusion oriented feature. So Java is a simple programming language. It doesn't allow that confusion oriented features. That's why Java is not interested on operator overloading. Leave this one now. Next one is, I given a question there. If this concept is representing operator overloading and it is available inside the Java, it is executable in Java, then how can we declare operator overloading is not possible in the case of Java? That's the point here. So here answer for this question is what there? As per the Java internal requirement, Java has defined some of the predefined operators like plus, star, percentile as overloaded operators with the fixed functionalities. But Java does not give any option for the developers to perform operator overloading explicitly. Right, so now these are the points here we understood clearly. After completion of this particular point here, another next eighth one is like what there? C and C++ follows call by value and call by or reference parameter passing mechanism. C and C++ follows call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanisms, but Java follows only call by value parameter passing mechanism. C and C++ follows call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanisms, but Java does follow only call by value parameter passing mechanism. Java follows only call by value parameter passing mechanism. What is the reason for it now? Right, sir? So this point I will discuss with you tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to complete this 8th and 9th. The 2 points are remaining. That both the points I want to be completed on tomorrow, right, guys? And please remember this. Tomorrow I will take the session here. no problem. But day after tomorrow, that means on Friday, I may not go for the session. Again on Saturday, I will take the session. Actually, I want to keep on Saturday and Sunday, no. But Friday, I will not take the session for you. But on Saturday, I will take the session for you. Understand it now? Then one day gap, I want to take it now. Okay. Then tomorrow, come for the session. Then I'll complete this total part here. The new topic I will discuss there on Saturday. That will be like what there? Java features. Next topic is what there? Java features that I will discuss with you on Saturday. But on Friday is a gap. Don't come for the session on Friday. Right? Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. I'll meet on tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll check the remaining part. Thank you. Not received? Not yet received. Okay, okay. Then under send your ID code or pay receipt to this number. WhatsApp. Oh. When you send it? Today, no? Okay. Mm-hmm. Me here, right? Okay, I'll check it. Mm-hmm. కంపల్ అయిపోతుంది కంపల్ అవుతుంది ప్రాబ్లం లేదు కానీ మేము ఇంకా ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ప్రాసెస్ చెప్పలేదు కానీ కంపల్ అవుతుంది ప్రాబ్లం లేదు అయితే ఇంకా ఇంట్రడక్షనే కదా ఇదంతా కూడా మీకు వస్తుంది అసలు ఫస్ట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎట్లా ప్రిపేర్ చేయాలి ఎట్లా జావా సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేయాలి ఎట్లా సేవ్ చేయాలి ఎట్లా కంపైల్ చేయాలి ఎట్లా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయాలి అని చెప్తాను అంటే నేను జస్ట్ అసలు మిమ్మల్ని జావాలోకి ఎంటర్ చేయడానికి ఇదంతా ప్లాట్ఫామ్ అంతే ఏం లేదు థ్యాంక్ యూ